Alright, let's plow and chat. Okay, so I apologize for the view right away because I don't know how else to set up my phone while I'm doing this. So I've had a really freaking terrible week. Trying not to let that, get me down or whatever, but Wednesday was just a really bad day, and it continued to be bad because, well, let me just start from Wednesday morning. So Wednesday morning, we woke up, we had stayed at the farm, which is where I am now plowing, and I needed to get into work, so I was like, all right, I'll just do a quick plow over like the driveways and stuff. Like the drifts out here are really bad, and right now it's actually like 18 degrees Fahrenheit, but it feels like 0 because of the wind chill. It is 22 mile-per-hour winds right now, so the drifts out here get really bad. We have to figure something out for the future because, yeah, it's hard, okay? So I grew up with a long driveway, but we never really had the issues like we do here, just because we were in a valley for one, so it never really got windy where I grew up, like it does here anyway. And anyway, so I was plowing, and if you're in a sea of white and you start backing up and you're looking in your mirrors and everything just looks white, it's really hard to tell where snow banks are and where you're supposed to be. So I ended up going too far over, and my whole driver's side was in a snowbank. So I spent over an hour digging myself out of the snowbank and finally got myself out. I had the twins in the back seat because I was taking them into town. So, they were fussing and crying, and I was almost in tears because I just could not get it out of this damn snowbank. But I finally did. I got the truck into 4-low, and that fixed my problem after I had been dug out, obviously, or I dug myself out. And so anyway, so I get into town. I'm super frustrated. I had to have my employee photo taken Wednesday, so I had literally just spent an hour digging myself out of a snowbank. So the attempt at making myself look decent for this photo was like ruined because my face was like bright red, and it was, it wasn't pretty, and so, sorry, my wipers have to be on because when I hit some of these snow drifts, they really blow it up on my windshield. So, but anyway, so yeah, so I get into town. I tell my husband, you know what, I'm going into work, why don't you go out and plow? So he went out and plowed. Well, not even an hour later, he called me that he was stuck. He got stuck a lot worse. So when I come back down the driveway, I'll hold the phone up and show you guys where he got stuck. And it was just like, made us go down a vehicle, having it to be out here. So anyways, after I closed up for work because it was a bad storm, so we ended up closing up early anyway. And I went out with the car, which we have named Tiny Car because it is indeed tiny. And so I'm like, have had this driving anxiety lately ever since being in that accident. And I was like super nervous the whole time because the wind was blowing. This car weighs like fucking 500 pounds. Oh, sorry, I was swearing. I don't mean to, but when I get animated, I swear sometimes. Anyways, it's just this tiny car, so I could feel every gust of wind, and like we were under an advisory the last couple days because it's been so cold, and we were at negative 40-degree wind chill this last couple days. So we hit a heat wave by having the real feel be 0 now. So yeah, it was just really frustrating, and all I wanted to do was go back to the house and eat cookies, and no joke, like that's literally what I wanted to do. It just go home and eat my feelings, and I was upset, and it just was a really bad day. And thankfully though, with the Weight Watchers, you know, I talked about in my last video how I like how it's almost like you're like spending money for food. Alright, so we're coming up on where my husband went off of our driveway here and got stuck. So let's see if, I don't know if you guys can see that. Here, let me, I might have to back up, it might be too close. So hopefully you can see what I'm talking about, that big divot in that's the neighbor's field over there. So he missed our driveway. We don't have any markers on it, which is something we're planning to do next year. Lesson learned. But yeah, it's just so frustrating when stuff like that happens to you and you feel really helpless, like you can't do anything about it. And thankfully, through some connections, we found out our neighbor was willing to come over, our farm neighbor that we've never met before was willing to come over and clear out the driveway so that we could actually get down it with another vehicle. And we asked them, you know, what do we owe you? And they're like, nope, you don't owe us anything. Just if you ever see us needing help, just come over and help. And we're like, absolutely, we will trade that any day. Like, we are more than happy to help someone out who needs help. And so that was really amazing of them to do that for us. And it's really good when you have nice neighbors and someone you can call for help when you need it. And luckily we got the truck out ourselves somehow. I don't freaking know how, because this is our big truck, and so the big truck was stuck, and my husband has an older truck that, you know, is probably half the poundage of this one. And he brought it out here, and I mean, we tried for a while. I mean, it didn't just come out right off of that. When we came out here, the actual like side that was towards the field was completely covered in snowdrift, because after we had the like foot of snowstorm, then we had the windstorm on the Wednesday when he got stuck. So all of the snow that had come previously was blown over onto the truck while it sat there through the windstorm. So when we came out, we're just lucky that our neighbors are willing to help us out, or we would have been screwed. It's just how it is. We would not have gotten out. And yeah, it was a rough couple days. So it was such a relief when we got out here last night. So we did it in the dark to get the truck out. It was such a relief though to have it out of the ditch. And so here, I'll do it one more time here to let you guys see I don't know, I can't see the other way, and I'm wearing my sunglasses. They're polarized, so it's hard for me to see. So here, so I'm facing towards the road right now. I'll turn off the blinkers too. Okay, so that right there is where my husband got this truck stuck, and we pulled it out with his little truck. And then the driveway's over there. So he was obviously a little ways off. And then, you know, it's like a lip over there when it goes to the farmer's field. And so once you go down that lip, it like sucks you right in. And yeah, it was rough. But, you know, I have to say that with the Weight Watchers having the points, like I was saying before, and, you know, lost my train of thought, it really, really, truly helped me looking and saying, you know, no, I don't have enough points to have, you know, this or that. And it really kept me accountable, and knowing that I was going to make videos for you guys to see and be like, being able to say that, no, I, you know, was able to control myself. That makes me like really proud that, you know, I did that, because it was very, very stressful. Like, I cannot tell you enough how stressful that was. I was almost in tears multiple times in the last like 48 hours. So, and you know, I'm one of those that I try not to, you know, be be overly emotional about things, or I feel silly when I'm emotional, I guess. But yeah, it was rough. So I was going to start. Hold on, I'm backing up towards the ditch here, so I'm trying to stay alert here. I was going to start running today because it was supposed to warm up, but now with the wind is just too much with all the drifts and stuff. I don't know that I might just run the driveway or something and call it good enough, but I signed up for a 10K today, so my first 10K. I've done a dozen 5Ks, and I was looking at 5Ks and I'm like, I already know I can do this. Why am I putting myself in the shell of only doing 5Ks? And I know why, because it makes me feel safe. I know I can do that. I know I can complete that, and putting myself out there to do something more challenging is scary. That's why I haven't. I already know the answer, so. But yeah, I am signing up. I already signed up for that. That's going to be in Rochester, Minnesota in the beginning of May. And I'm really nervous about it because I basically haven't run since my surgery. And that can be scary to restart something. But I'm going to do my very best and try to be training. And I've already, from our farm, I've already mapped out a bunch of different routes that are some varying lengths. I figured out that there is a back way into a state park that we're not far from, and I mapped it all out from our farm and figured out that, lo and behold, the back road, or like the back way in distance from our farm to this park is a half marathon. It is like half marathon is 13.1, but this park is like 13.3 mapped out, and I was like, all right, that's gotta be a sign, you know? So I don't know. I know I've talked about doing that, about, you know, expanding on my running before, but yeah, we'll see how that goes. I want to see how I do with my 10K first, I guess. Getting a little overly excited, I guess. But so I started watching a new channel, and I've revisited a bunch of the channels that I have previously watched too, and I'm really excited to see that there's quite a few people that I know already, you know, back at their channels recently, like I am, and I'm really excited about that because I'm super excited to support them again and have them support me, because support is everything in this journey. So, but yeah, I found this new channel. Her channel is Mrs. Space Cadet, I think is the channel name, and she's super funny. So she's training for a marathon, and she does like these she does like TikTok, and so I don't do TikTok, but she sometimes adds them to the ends of her videos, and they're pretty funny. She just made me laugh. And so anyone else that is aspiring to be a runner, you'll have to go check out her channel because it's really funny. But yeah, guys, I think I'm coming to the end of my plowing job. It looks like I didn't do anything on the driveway because that's where the wind blows. But thank you for riding along with me. Like I said, with all this crap going on, I have not done any of my goal posters. So I think I'm going to go work on those, and I will hopefully have those ready to go on my weigh-in on Sunday, and I'll just probably include that in my weigh-in video on Sunday, and call this the video that I said I would do. Oops, forgot to turn my wipers off. Yeah, so just know that if you guys are having a stressful week, you aren't the only one. We're in this together, and I hope that your weekend is a lot better than your week was. All right, guys, I'll see you next time. Bye.